Hello, friends from around the world. Jared here. And today in this session, we're going to be talking about purpose, the core value of purpose. Perhaps one of the greatest and deepest needs God has placed into every single one of us as His children. But I want to start by talking about why. We always start with the why. Why is purpose so important? And we can go straight to Scripture, which reminds us, as we know, that without a vision, the people perish. Without a purpose, without direction, without goals, without a clear path ahead, the people perish. And some translations say that the people cast off restraint, meaning they're like a ship without a rudder, being tossed to and fro by the struggles, the challenges of life, of society and culture, and what it says is right and true and pure. And this is not the way of Christ. And the truth is, as you know, there are so many vulnerable children around the world that are out in the world without a clear purpose, that don't have a sense of a direction or a vision for the future. And this is heartbreaking because we know the journey that leads to, and often the lifestyles and the challenges that lay ahead of children without a purpose. That's the beautiful thing of Alongsiders. Alongsiders is an amazing environment to start creating a deep sense of purpose, of fostering a sense of purpose in the lives of vulnerable children all around the world. And when we do this, when we see children embracing an idea of who they are and who God created them to be, of having a purpose, then the future is bright. And who knows what God will do with their lives and the impact they will have once they envision, embrace, and live into the purpose that God has given them. Now, as followers of Jesus, as pastors, as leaders in different circles in our community, in different ministries, we know we have a purpose. We know God has designed us with a specific purpose, and that purpose is to know Him and to make Him known, to point humanity back to the Creator who created us in His image. But do we understand that we have a purpose in different areas of our lives, such as being a father? What is our purpose as a father, and how do we live that out as God's sons and God's daughters? What is our purpose as a spouse, as a husband or a wife, and how do we live into that purpose? But more specifically, what I want to ask you and to discuss briefly is, do we understand our purpose as movement coordinators? Why we're here? Have we embraced the calling that God has placed in our lives, and are we living into it? And I want to say our purpose, your purpose as movement coordinators, is to lead by example, to steward well the movement that God has entrusted you with, to lead and support others, to raise up leaders, to be a vision bearer, to carry this beautiful movement that God has placed and to carry it into our communities, into our nations. How beautiful will it be when we see vulnerable children and youth around the world embracing their sense of calling and the vision that God has placed inside of them, going from brokenness, hopelessness, wondering, why am I here, to knowing that God has given me a purpose and that my life matters. That is something that we can see in the Alongsiders movement. These things are happening by the grace of God. You guys are leading movements that are leading to children and youth and even leaders embracing a new sense of purpose and meaning for their lives. And that's a beautiful thing. So the question I'll leave us with is, how do we create this sense of purpose at every level of the movement? Not just for you as movement coordinators, regional coordinators, but for Alongsiders, for your LBS, for your elders, for others in the community that are a part of the movement in different ways. How do we encourage, inspire, and help others live into that sense of purpose that God has given them in whatever area they're leading in? God bless you. May God go before you, and let's continue to pray for a deeper sense of purpose and meaning and vision in the lives of everyone that's a part of the Alongsiders movement. And with that, we will see doors opened, we'll see hearts and lives transformed, and we'll see beautiful things taking place by the grace of God, and God's kingdom in heaven coming to earth now as it is in heaven.